When I came to Vietnam, I'm not gonna lie, during the quarantine, Miss Cosmo was so hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was hectic. Right, Henry?
So moving to the next part, I would like you all to welcome a very beautiful speaker. Yeah, she graduated from Faculty of Arts, Simpakorn University. She has been a bilingual MC in Thailand, also a cabin crew member. And later on, with the beauty of friendliness, she won the title of runner-up of Miss Cosmo 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Welcome, Mook. And Mook will rock the stage with the topic "Aim for the Moon." All right, take it away.
Very much. It was such a not so humble introduce, but yeah, I would like to introduce myself once again. สวัสดีค่ะ Xin chào mọi người. Xin chào FPT University. Em là Mook Karnruethai Tassabut. Á hào hoàn hú, Phúc Tế 2024. I have practiced a little bit. So before we get started and talk about my Aim to the Moon mission, I would love to again introduce myself, but now start from a very young age. So here we go. When I was young, my very first year of life, I was raised by my aunt and my uncle. In the rural area of Ubon Ratchathani, small countryside. I remember my dad and my mom come visit me every weekend. But all I remember is just the tiny little Mook clinging by the door and crying when the car slowly pulled away. When it's time for kindergarten, I'm about 3 or 4 years old, I moved to the city to start my education journey. And that's actually a very first official time for me that I need to adjust into the new environment. My first language was Isan language, which is well spoken in the area. But now that I moved to the city, I have to learn to speak Central Thai language. Fast forward 10 years, now I'm in my teenage year. With a small circle of friends and family, I feel like I somehow don't belong here. You see, I have a big personality. I love the spotlight, as you can see. I love activity. I love to express myself. But all of that was considered too much in such a small city. So I try to bend in. I try to be normal. And after that, as if the teenage year and self-discovery is not hard enough, my mom and my dad, they got separated. Now come to the hard part for other people. For me, it's actually such a relief. It means that no more domestic violence, no more shouting at each other. It's time for me to focus on myself. At first, I almost decided to study in my local university in hometown. But then, there's a little voice in my head speak to me that, what if I can be better? What if I can be bigger? Or what if I can be whoever I want to be? Forget about being normal. So I left home. I got accepted into Silopakorn University Faculty of Art, major in Thai, minor in English. 700 kilometers away from home. For the first time, I felt free. I met with so many extravagant people. I met with so many smart people, energetic people. And most of all, I feel like I belong here. University life shaped me into so many ways. I gained my confidence. I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of connections. People used to ask me if I study abroad. People used to ask me if I'm mixed, but none of that. Because in my class in university, we are encouraged to have an open discussion in English without being judged. The only way that I feel comfortable to communicate in English is only because I applied it into my everyday life. So now imagine 4 years in the university, 4 years of reading a lot of books, a lot of presentations, a lot of conversations. I gained my confidence. So it is time for me to actually tap into the adult world. What adults do? They work. So I have to apply for work. I always have a dream. My dream is to see the world, to know the world. And I do believe that I can do that. So I applied for the local airline as a cabin crew. Actually, I missed that part. I actually applied for the international airline first, for the first time, yeah. And I remember that day, it was me and my best friend. We go together for the interview day, and she have to interview first. And she make it super easy. She made it past it was like peeling the banana for her. So I thought, it shouldn't be a problem for me. When it's come to my turn, I fail. It's such a big rejection for me because I was stuttering. I cannot even speak proper English. I remember that day, I came back to my place heartbroken. But you know what adults do? Life goes on. Even though your heart is aching, but you still need to work, you still need to take care of yourself. So I applied for the beauty advisor job, and I got a job. Things slowly fall into place. However, there's a catch. I have to live off about $400 a month. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but mind you, I have to pay for bill, I have to pay for rent, and on top of that, I live in Bangkok, the city that never sleeps if you have enough money to enjoy it. I remember at the time, I was so broke that if I want to have something for dinner, it have to be like a 50-cent tofu milk. Or if I want to have like a proper dinner, it have to be, I have to skip my lunch in order to have enough money for a proper dinner. It's been like that for 2 months. And then the local airline opened for the position as a cabin crew. So of course, if there's gonna be anything that help me get through the $400 situation, sign me up. So I applied for the cabin crew again. This time is the local airline. And guys, we made it to the final round. I even get a compliment from the judge this time. But guess what? I failed again. This time, it was hurt more than first time. Because why? Because mind you, I always want to see the world. If I cannot make it to the local airline, how on earth I'm gonna make it to the international airline, right? But you know what adults do? Life goes on. I go back to work, hard work do paid off, thank God. I got recognized from my company, from my teammate, from my customers. They love how I work. I do earn a lot this time. A lot and enough for me to spend, for me to save, and for me to send back to my mom. I've been working as a beauty advisor for 11 months. And then one day while working, there's a little voice in my head say that, what if you can do better? What if you can achieve your dream. That's why I decided to apply for a cabin crew job again. And this time, we made it, guys. One of the best ally in the world. It took me 3 times to secure this job. But people might say that 3 times is a shame. Moving and living in the Middle East for the first 6 months was very challenging because I have to put myself in the multicultural environment where people speak English as a central language. One thing that people talk a lot when it comes to mind is accent. For me, accent is not important. The pronunciation, the message, the ability to convey the message is what's important. Some might say that having like a certain accent is superior. For me, it doesn't matter. Think about accent as a tool. Of course, if you have a proper tool, you might fix things faster. But you can have your tool with a little bit of adapt, with a little bit of adjustment. You can still be able to fix things. As a non-native English speaker, we have to admit that sometimes conversation get tricky and we might not understand each other. But what important is you need to respect other people and trying to understand people. Because as of now, we are a global citizen. We're not living alone in this world. This job allows me to make memories, to hop around the world, to experience the best part of humanity and the worst part of humanity. That's a lot of time that I laugh and I smile from ear to ear. And there's a countless time that I have to lock myself in the toilet and cry. But I will surely, the positive part of being a cabin crew, it shaped me to the person that I am today. Until the pandemic hit, 2020, the years the people will remember forever. I would put on ground, no flight, no flying schedule, no layover, less money. I was stressed. And I realized that after 4 years of pushing carts, of take care for the passengers, catering to their needs, for the company, I was just a staff number. They don't even remember my name. Every time when I go to the office, they ask me, what is your staff number? So I decide, it is the time for the world to know my name. Before this success that you see, my first national pageant, it took me 3 attempts, 3 times again, in order to get in. And I land on top 20. But that time, I was happy because people recognized me for my communication skill. So I got hired as an MC for the events and for the pageant. I was happy, I was content. And then my supportive system, people around me, said that, you know what, I think you can do better. I bet. So I joined another national competition. And this time, with the mindset that I will give it my all. And this is gonna be my last pageant unless I make it to the international level. And I land on the second runner-up. And here I am as the first Miss Cosmo Thailand. I was so happy and I take this opportunity to the fullest. When I came to Vietnam, I'm not gonna lie, during the quarantine, Miss Cosmo was so hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was hectic. Right, Henry? But I have Thailand, I have my country name across my chest. I have to represent it. And most importantly, I have to make the best of all the opportunity that I have. So I put aside all the stress, all the worry, and I enjoy it to the max. And it turned out, you shine the most when you stay true to yourself. I made it to top 2. And before I know it, I became the first ever runner-up Miss Cosmo 2024. Now I moved to Vietnam. I work in the new environment again. People might ask, so what's the difference? You have been working abroad before. Well, the difference this time, the world knows my name. For me, life is all about adapt, adjust, and overcome. Imagine if I spent years asking myself, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I make it through that interview round? I will never see the world. I will not win this competition. I will not make it this far. It is all about your growth mindset. It's all about try everything. For those who is not born with a silver spoon, who never been fed in the silver platter, please always remember to be ambitious. Please remember to hungry for success. Polish your skill, make connection, tap into your full potential. Because these qualities will take you far. And please, one last thing that I want to tell you. And the most important thing, don't let anyone doubt your sparkle. Listen to your North Star and shoot for the moon. Because if you miss, you will land among the stars. Xin cảm ơn mọi người.